Hi, hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 8 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 8 math and then click on view all lessons. There you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter rational numbers. The lessons we're going to cover today are absolute value of rational numbers, excuse me, convert between decimals and fractions or mixed numbers, compare rational numbers, put rational numbers in order. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. So here I'm on grade 8 math. Chapter we're on right now is rational numbers. Let's just start with the lesson that is absolute value of rational numbers. What is the absolute value of 17 over 19? So absolute values are the positive values or zero value. Is already a positive value. So 17 by 19, it is the correct option is 17 over 19. Let's just start with the test questions. What is the absolute value of 5.7? That is 5.7. Option number 1 is the correct option. Absolute values means positive values. What is the absolute value of negative 3.6? That is 3.6. Option number 1 is the correct option. What is the absolute value of negative 3.5? Negative values, absolute values are always the positive values. So the absolute value of negative 3.5 is 3 by 5 is 3 by 5. Option number 1 is the correct option. What is the absolute value of negative 5.6? - 5.6. It is very good. Option number one is the correct option. What is the absolute value of 6? The absolute value of 6 is 6. Option number 2 is the correct option. The absolute value of negative 3.8 is 3 by 8. Option number 1 is the correct option. The absolute value of negative 6.7 is 6.7. Option number 1 is the correct option. What is the absolute value of negative 1.7? That is 1.7. Option number 1 is the correct option. The absolute value of 17 over 19 is 17 over 19. Option number 1 is the correct option. The absolute value of 8 is 8. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, we are done with the lesson. Let's just move on to next lesson. Convert between decimals and fractions or mixed numbers. What is negative 1 by 2 as a decimal number? So we need to write the fraction as a decimal. So negative 1 by 2, we need to make the fraction equal to 10, right? We need to make the denominator equal to 10. So 2 times 5 is 10. So let's just multiply it by the 5. 1 times 5 is 5 and 2 times 5 is 10. That is negative 0.5. Let's just start with the test questions. Write 0.19 as a fraction in simplest form. So 0.19 as a decimal. So that is 19, and we have two digits right after the decimal. So that is 19 over 100. Option number 1 is the correct option. That is 19 by 100. Option number 1 is the correct option. What is 0.25 as a fraction in simplest form? That is 25 by 100. Option number 1 is the correct option. Oh, you can simplify. Read the question is simplest form. That is 1 by 4. Option number 2 is the correct option. Write zero point 0.6 as a fraction in simplest form. The first thing is we need to convert it into fraction, so that would be 6 over 10. And then we need to write the answer in the simplest form. So we need to divide them by 2, that is 3 by 5. That is 3 by 5. Option number 2 is the correct option. Write negative 1 by 2 as a decimal number. That is negative zero point 0.5. Option number 1 is the correct option. Write negative zero point 0.3 as a fraction in simplest form. That is negative 3 by 10. Option number 1 is the correct option. Write 1 by 2 as a decimal number. That is zero point 0.5. Option number 1 is the correct option. Write 0.15 as a fraction in simplest form. That is 15 over 100. Option number 1 is the correct option. Yes, you need to write your answer in simplest form, so that would be 3 by 20. That, that is 3 by 20. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. That is compare rational numbers. Which sign makes a statement true? So let's just make the denominator same, right? Thus, we need to simplify that 6 by 8. So when we simplify 6 by 8, that would be 3 over 4. So 1 by 4 and 3 by 4, they both have exactly the same denominators. So let's just look at their numerators. 1 by 4 is less than 6 by 8. Let's just start with the test question. Which sign makes the statement true? Let's just make the denominator same. 2 times 5 is 5 over 10 and 2 by 10. So they both have exactly the same denominator. 5 by 10 is greater than 2 by 10. Greater it is. Option number 1 is the correct option. Which sign makes the statement true? We need to make the denominator same. So 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 5 is 10. So 8 by 7 is greater than 7 over 10. Option number 1 is the correct option. Greater it is. Negative 3 by 4 is less than negative 1 by 4. Negative 4 by 5 is less than negative 3 by 5. Negative 1 by 10 is less than 3 by 5. Option number 2 is the correct option. Negative 1 by 2 and negative 7 over 8. Let's just make the denominator same, right? Then that would be negative 4 over 8. So negative 4 over 8 is greater than negative. Option number 1 is the correct option. Let's just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is put rational numbers in order. Put these numbers in order from greatest to least. So the negative numbers are always smaller than the greatest number. Let's just start with the test questions. Put these numbers in order from least to greatest. Option number 1 is the correct option. Put these numbers in order from least to greatest. Option number 2 is the correct option. Put these numbers in order from least to greatest. So, which is the correct option? Option number 2 is the correct option. Put these numbers in order from least to greatest. Option number 2 is the correct option. Put these orders from least to greatest. Option number 2 is the correct option. Option number 1 it is. Put these numbers in order from least to greatest. Option number 1 is the correct option. From greatest to least, option number 1 is the correct option. Put these numbers in order from least to greatest. Least to greatest. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 8 math. Chapter we were working on is rational numbers. The lessons we have covered today are absolute value of rational numbers, convert between decimals and fractions or mixed numbers, compare rational numbers and put rational numbers. So please make sure session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we just did. That is your homework until next session. If you need more help with any of the lessons, you can simply click on the live chat button. Tutors are available there to help you, or either you can write them down in the chat box. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. So you can please write them down in the chat box. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. Any questions? Okay, then that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye.